there's more poop here.
It's always poop.
Yeah, part of my life, just poop, poop, poop. Today is Thursday, November 18th. We started off the morning, Dr. Yolanda looked at a whelping bitch that the owners were unsure whether or not she still had a puppy left in her. Often prior to dogs or bitches actually whelping, we will take pregnancy x-rays sometime after 45 days of pregnancy to try to count the number of babies that are inside. This gives the owners an idea of when the dog is whelping or having birth, of just how many puppies they're watching for, so that instances like this doesn't happen.
Her last baby was stillborn, so we're just gonna make sure there's nothing left in the uterus.
Dwight came in, she was in labor, started labor about 36 hours ago, and I think it was about 12 hours prior last night. So she did come in this morning for an x-ray to make sure that there was no more puppies left inside of her. And in fact, there wasn't, so this was good. Thankfully, no issues there, and the dog can go home to start nursing her babies. After that, I went in and did some surgeries. So I did two dog neuters and a dog spay. This dog is about, I think, 6 months old, so nothing out of the ordinary. I've seen this a million times. I've done this a million times. Stacy's seen this a million times. 1-year-old Labradoodle that we're neutering. Pretty routine, doing exactly what I do every time. I do a closed technique. We pop the testicle out. I do a transfixing. Then I do a circumferential ligature. Then I'm gonna cut the testicle by testicle. Most of the time, like, whenever people are like, oh wow, you had a big day of surgery, I'm always like, surgery is usually like, it's mindless. And they're always like, what is mindless? And I'm like, well, you have to think about like how many surgeries we do. And these are so routine that you get so used to doing them that it is just muscle memory. So your hands are just doing the work and you're like thinking but not really thinking. You're mostly just monitoring for things being abnormal. If that makes sense. So there's always things you can do to make like your suturing faster. So just like not like things that you're skipping steps, but for example, I'm going through the 3 layers on one bite. I'm gonna grab with my forceps and then I'm gonna grab again. So now my needle's all ready to go back in, versus sometimes when you're just learning, you might like grab like your needle wherever it is and then you have to readjust. Another interesting thing that this is just like random fun fact, but if you watch us hold any of the surgical instruments that have like the little finger holes, so like the different types of scissors and needle drivers, most people hold their scissors like this, but we're taught to hold you hold with your like ring finger. It's improper to hold like a pair of scissors, so any of them are always held like this. Instead of, I don't even know how normal scissors are held now. Like, I think maybe with your middle finger. I don't know, but like this. People cut like this. Okay, so like this.
You have no control that way.
Yeah, so you have like a lot more control doing it this way. While all of this was going on, of course another surgery was taking place. A little long-haired dachshund came in with a wound of unknown cause.
She came in, don't really know what happened. Owners just found a bit of a wound on her neck. Maybe she got it stuck on something in the backyard when she was running around. So we recommended sedating her so that we could explore it. This is why we always recommend sedating our wounds so we can actually explore them fully. So it looks like it's this nice little tiny thing on the top, but I can put this hemostat all the way in under the skin. So what we're going to want to do is clip all this hair, clean it up, and I'm going to actually poke a draining hole here so that we don't get an accumulation of bacteria, debris, pus, anything like that that would cause an infection. We'll close it up here and we'll leave this open. Make a little incision at the top. I'll kind of stitch the drain in at the top just to hold it there, but then this will keep it open so that the material can keep coming out of that little pocket. think this may be my most beautiful suture closure for a wound so far. Look at it.
Looks nice.
Never gonna happen. I'm just gonna close this hole.
Oh my god, you giant testicles.
Oh, they're huge.
Things you only hear at a vet clinic.
Dun dun.
Dun dun.
So she closed up the initial wound, but she also placed a drain. So because of all of that pocket underneath, or we would call it dead space, there is the potential that the laceration heals, but that skin underneath doesn't tack down. So by leaving it open, it allows any fluid to drain out, so we don't have as big of a risk of infection or abscessation happening. So that drain will be pulled in about 3 to 5 days, and then the stitches will be removed in about 2 weeks. Dr. Cody was busy as well. I think he went out for a farm call first thing this morning and was busy looking at a bull and some heifers. And then after he came back, he looked at a dog that had some red eyes.
What's been going on? We got some goofy eyes?
Yeah, they're super red.
Yeah.
Like,
When did that start?
yesterday.
Just yesterday? Did
And
he?
then this morning got super bad.
Okay. Did he get into anything? Any changes in the environment? No. What's the current diet now?
Rice and pumpkin he's eating right now.
Just rice and pumpkin. Okay. And when did he start that?
3 days ago.
Okay, 3 days ago. And this started 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And worse this morning? Okay. Energy levels? Normal?
Good, yeah.
Okay. Any vomiting?
Not anymore, no. But Friday he was a lot.
Okay. Any itching at the ears?
No.
Seem a little inflamed. Heart and lungs sound wonderful. I'm just gonna take his temperature. Good. Oh, it's good. Okay, so we're gonna do a fluorescein test looking at both eyes just to make sure we don't have a corneal ulcer or ulceration right on the eyeball itself. If we do have an ulcerations, then that'll just change our medication that we're going to use. If there is no ulceration, we'll be able to just give him some eye steroids and some antibiotic. But I'm suspicious that he's now reacting to the rice and the pumpkin. So it kind of looks like he's having some allergic conjunctivitis. So switching him off of that onto the DRM will also be part of the plan for today.
He's like, yeah.
So then we use a blue light to see if we are fluorescing. So if there is an ulcer, then the stain gets uptaken into the eyeball. And if there's no ulcer, then the stain can't get in there, and then it just tears out. Look at those alien tears. So I'm not seeing anything, so that's good. I'll get you some eye drops. But yeah, let me just put together the medication. I just think it is an allergic reaction that he's having.
Okay.
We'll get him on eye drops. He'll have to do it a few times a day for the next week, but should be good.
We'll go get the nails done. Okay. You get the nails done.
Yeah, I'll rinse out his eyes in there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, we'll be back in a second. You can certainly watch him through the treatment window.
Good work. Good work.
All wrapped up, so we just got some steroid and antibiotic eye drops. So he'll get eye drops 3 times a day for the next 5 to 7 days. And then we'll also put on a special diet that's for allergic dogs. Potato, fish, pea meal based diet. So you're gonna love that.
Yum.
Yes, you're gonna love that. I know it. Everything should clear up in like 2 to 3 days. The eye drops will go in for the next week though. Yes, you're very nice. You're very nice. And we'll see if that skin gets a little less dandruffy. I know, but Bree still has more dandruff than you.